Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Wednesday, March 8th, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's Roadblock edition of NXT, broadcast live on USA Network from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. In the main event, Roxanne Perez made her fifth successful defense of the NXT Women's title, defeating Meiko Satomura in 13 minutes and 58 seconds. Earlier in the show, NXT champion Braun Breaker teamed up with the Creed brothers to defeat Jinder Mahal, Veer, and Sangha, known as Indus Sher, in 11 minutes and 13 seconds.
And now everything is breakup. Spear by Breaker. And that could be the turning point in this matchup. Mahal has been isolated. Sangha trying to drop Breaker.
Look at the balance right there from the champion right there.
Breaker!
Talking about
second spear.
Talking about double up.
Oh! Well, Veer just taking down Braun. But look at Julius. Unbridled strength. Tag. Where is Brutus going?
Talking about action personified. This match has been all over the place.
A little bit of a doomsday device. Oh, Butterball! Off the top, the Brutus ball. Creed's victorious.
Just prior to the match, Dragon Lee was introduced in the crowd, making his first official NXT appearance. Lee had been scheduled to report to the WWE Performance Center in January, but work visa issues delayed the arrival. The opening match saw Tony D'Angelo defeat Dijak in a jailhouse street fight. In other results, Gigi Dolan beat her former Toxic Attraction partner Jayce Jane, and Joe Gacy topped Andre Chase. In ratings news, Monday Night Raw this week experienced a slight bump. The episode featuring the return of John Cena drew an audience of 1.827 million to the USA Network, up almost 3.5% from last week's 1.768 million, according to Showbuzz Daily. In the hourly breakdown, the first hour drew 1.885 million, falling to 1.855 million for hour 2, and falling further to 1.768 million for the final hour, for a cumulative loss of 117,000 viewers over the course of the show. The rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic was 0.52, up slightly from last week's 0.51, according to WrestleNomics. The 0.52 rating equates to 678,000 viewers. The episode came in first place for the evening in the key demographic on cable TV. In Major League Wrestling news, after its initial antitrust lawsuit against WWE was dismissed last month, MLW has filed an amended antitrust lawsuit accusing WWE of violating the Sherman Antitrust Act, according to Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics. Included as evidence in the newly amended lawsuit is Peacock's recent deal with Reels, the cable channel that airs MLW Underground, which prevents MLW content from airing on Peacock due to an exclusivity agreement with WWE. The suit also alleges that Paul Levesque contacted Madison Square Garden to persuade the arena to not run the Ring of Honor and New Japan co-promoted G1 Supercard in 2019, and also that WWE blocked AEW from running the Heritage Bank Center in Cincinnati in 2019 and 2020. There is also mention of WWE allegedly encouraging both Swerve Strickland and Harry Smith to opt out of their MLW deals to join WWE in the past. MLW World Champion Alexander Hammerstone went to a 2-minute no contest with Lance NOI on last night's episode of MLW Underground on Reels in a match taped January 7th at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. The bout came to a quick halt after devolving into a large pull-apart brawl involving several other MLW wrestlers.
You expect it not to take long, to boil over, not to a Hammerstone fighting. Look out.
Joe, I would stand up and get on the feet.
Yeah, I don't know where to go here.
It's okay.
Fatu and Hammerstone.
Well, this is the thing. We hear about it in pro wrestling all the time. A fight is a fight. But when it becomes emotional, when you have angry fighters, those fighters become sloppy. They do things they would not normally do. Can you imagine unhinged Fatu, unhinged Hammerstone?
Wait, Matt, Calvin Tankman, EJ and Duke are out here as well. And they're hooking up with the Samoan SWAT team. And certainly that surrounds the MLW tag team titles. This thing has exploded.
Look, amidst the chaos.
Everywhere.
Where's Hammerstone? He's in the ring. Look at him. By himself. himself amidst the chaos. Hammerstone is in the ring. That picture tells you a lot.
The match marked Hammerstone's 15th successful defense of the title and was his second successful defense held at the January 7th taping, the first being against Yamato in a match that aired 2 weeks ago on MLW Underground. One half of the Samoan SWAT team, Lance Anoa'i, is a cousin of the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Also on last night's show, Jacob Fatu defeated Lio Rush in a match taped last October. It was Rush's first match in MLW since losing the MLW middleweight title to Myron Reed in May of 2021. The episode also saw the return of Raven to MLW for the first time since 2004. In National Wrestling Alliance news, NWA World Women's Champion Camille defeated Ruthie J in a non-title match on yesterday's episode of NWA Power, which was taped last month in Tampa, Florida. The match was Jay's NWA debut.
In that three-point stance, it's so dangerous.
That's a spear, she hits
Oh
it.
my God!
That's it, guys. That's all, folks.
Cut her in half.
The winner of this match, Camille!
Guys, I got to give it to Ruthie J. She might have been defeated in this match, but man, what an impressive debut here in the NWA.
Camille still standing tall at the top of our women's division.
Camille has now reigned as NWA Women's Champion for 641 days and is yet to be pinned or submitted in the NWA after more than 3 years of wrestling for the promotion. And we close with some auto burglary news. Brand new AEW TNT champion Wardlow revealed on social media Tuesday that he was a victim of his rental car being broken into. On Twitter, Wardlow shared video of his rental car, which showed the vehicle had been broken into. During the video, Wardlow noted that everything he had in the car had been stolen, including his ring gear and the TNT title belt itself.
Well, thanks to the person who broke into my rental car and took absolutely everything from me. My TNT title, my gear, my boots, my whole life were in those bags. I don't know if this means I'm going to have to beat it out of Hobbs in these clothes I'm wearing right now, but one way or another, I'm going to make it to Sacramento, and we're going to get this done. Whoever did do this, better thank God that I didn't catch you in the act, because your jaw would be as shattered as this glass is.
Wardlow had won the TNT Championship from Samoa Joe this past Sunday at AEW Revolution in San Francisco. Tonight on AEW Dynamite, he's scheduled for his first title defense against Powerhouse Hobbs. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.